there are three parties, the judge and the two adversarial lawyers. So mas madali. Dito, it's an inquisitorial method. So, ang imagine niyo yung Spanish Inquisition, yung pag yung persecution ng mga yung mga pinaghinalaan ng mga witches, yung mga ganyan, yung mga witch trials, yan ang yan ang itsura ng Kongreso. Inquisitorial kasi there is the authority asking you questions and you cannot defend yourself. You cannot answer back in a manner that they don't like. And if they don't like your answers, they can keep asking you and asking you and asking you and try to break you down. There are no rules to protect you in this kind of inquisitorial proceedings. Now, there are inquisitorial proceedings allowed by law. Halimbawa, pwedeng magtanong ang piskal pagka merong hearing on probable cause, but he'll just ask questions. The prosecutor cannot threaten you and say, hindi, aminin mo na to. In Congress, it's inquisitorial the same way it was inquisitorial during the Spanish Inquisition and in the witch trials of the 16th century. So parang hello, the 16th century called, they want their methods back. Walang konsepto ng hustisya. And I think this is where kumaga it's ripe for excessive behavior. May parliamentary immunity pa sila. So anong nangyayari? Ikaw lang ang napapatrusahan, sila hindi.
Attorney, dito naman po sa mga pagdinig ng Kamara, nakikita niyo po ba na naayon pa ito sa tamang gawi? Considering laging pag hindi nila gusto yung sagot, contempt agad yung talagang panakot nila. No? Pag parang magagalit sila pag hindi nila gusto yung sagot. Ganito rin po ba pag sa korte, pag magagalit si judge at diretso agad-agad sasabihin na ikay nagsisinungaling at hindi tatanggapin yung mo kasi nga hindi niya nagustuhan yung sagot mo or iba yung gusto niyang lumabas sa bibig mo?
Actually, hindi. The judge doesn't say anything unless you make an objection, magro-rule yung judge. So kunwari, nagdi-direct examination yung prosecutor. Asks question 1, 2, 3, tapos let's say tumawid siya, leading yung question niya, mag-o-object yung kabila. Objection, Your Honor, the question is leading. The judge will make a ruling. No, will allow it. Ganyan. Ngayon, pag sinabi naman ng prosecutor, Your Honor, the witness is he keeps asking the same question, pwedeng mag-oppose yung defense counsel at sabihin, Your Honor, the question has been asked and answered. Counsel is badgering, the prosecutor is badgering the witness. The judge can stop you. So, in a courtroom, there are three parties, the judge and the two adversarial lawyers. So, mas madali. Dito, it's an inquisitorial method. So, ang imagine niyo yung Spanish Inquisition, yung persecution ng mga yung mga pinaghinalaan ng mga witches, yung mga ganyan, yung mga witch trials, yan ang yan ang itsura ng Kongreso. Inquisitorial kasi there is the authority asking you questions and you cannot defend yourself. You cannot answer back in a manner that they don't like. And if they don't like your answers, they can keep asking you and asking you and asking you and try to break you down. There are no rules to protect you in this kind of inquisitorial proceedings. Now, there are inquisitorial proceedings allowed by law. Halimbawa, pwedeng magtanong ang piskal pagka merong hearing on probable cause, but he'll just ask questions. The prosecutor cannot threaten you and say, hindi, aminin mo na to. In Congress, it's inquisitorial the same way it was inquisitorial during the Spanish Inquisition and in the witch trials of the 16th century. So parang hello, the 16th century called, they want their methods back. Walang konsepto ng hustisya. And I think this is where kumaga it's ripe for excessive behavior. May parliamentary immunity pa sila. So, anong nangyayari? Ikaw lang ang napapatrusahan, sila hindi.
Opo.
So,
Napapansin din ng ating
it's not even conducive to democracy yung...
Opo. Attorney, napapansin
Yes.
din ng ating mga kababayan. Ako, nakapapansin ko rin. Kasi dati, ang style, halimbawa, kalaban mo siya sa politika. Di ba? Pag malapit na yung eleksyon, biglang dadami yung mga kaso. Sasampan ng kaso sa ombudsman, tapos gagamitin itong kaso na ito. Ito, may kinakaharap na kaso, parang ginagawa na nilang guilty. Parang yun yung dating trial by publicity. Ngayon, hindi na simpleng ganyan.
Correct.
Meron ng ganitong mga hearing at doon ka na hiya. Ito yung nangyayari ngayon.
Oo,
Napansin mo rin
correct.
po ba yan, attorney?
Yes. In fact, may mga katanungan doon. Ito, I've always objected to this ever since. Kahit panahon ni Presidente Duterte, kahit panahon ni Presidente Noynoy. No? Yung magtatanong sila on a case na hindi pa na-file or a case na currently under investigation. Kung baga, walang hustisya dyan. Kasi kunwari, at least we can expect kahit paano yung law enforcers natin, maghahanap sila ng ebidensya and the evidence should lead them wherever. Dito, mayroon silang gustong ihanap. Kumbaga, meron silang puntirya. We want to make this person look guilty. So maglalabas lang sila ng ebidensya that they think, they'll ask questions leading to that conclusion. Maglalabas sila ng, uy, surprise, witnesses. Again, heaping it on, dagdagan na, gagatungan pa nila. And so on. So nakikita natin, nawawarp tuloy yung konsepto ng mga tao kung ano ang hustisya dito sa Pilipinas. They think that this is how cases are decided. They think that pag inakusahan ka in a Senate or congressional hearing, guilty na yung tao. So kumbaga, this is part of the miseducation of the Philippine public. Kaya nga ang daming injustices na nakocommit sa atin. Yan, yung mga aktivista who say that kulang ang representation, kulang ang justice dito sa Pilipinas. This is part of the problem. Na yung pinapakita natin na pag powerless ka, tanggapin mo na lang. Kahit wala kang kasalanan, makukulong ka. Kahit wala kang kasalanan, papahiyain ka, sisiraan ka, your reputation is left in tatters, and there is no way that you can come back from that. There's no way that you can seek justice against your opponent. So dito, power is power. And kung wala kang power, sorry ka na lang. This is not, kumbaga, let's just pretend that this is a democracy kasi may representation tayo. But the truth is, we really don't. And ang nakakainis, ano yung nakakainis? Wala na yung pretense. Wala na yung good graces, wala na yung manners, wala na yung etiquette. They don't care if nakikita sila and they're the villains. They don't care.
Yun
Meron
nga
silang ibang hinahanap.
What if kung sa dulo nito, yung mga akusasyon nila, mali-mali pala, pero yung damage na naidulot nito doon sa pinaghinalaan nila, nauna na. Kumbaga, grabe na yung kanya, para na rin siyang nabilanggo, para na rin siyang pinarusahan doon pa lang sa unang parte, tapos kalaunan, malalaman na hindi pala sila guilty. Pero ito ma'am, ano po yung limitasyon sa pagtalakay po sa isang issue na mayroon ng kaso, nakabimbin o nasa korte na, and sa pagtalakay po ng pagdinig ng Kongreso? Kasi malimit, sinasabi nila, na kahit na pwede pa rin niyang matalakay dito. Meron po bang desisyon ang Korte Suprema ukol po dyan once na ang pinag-uusapan na ay meron ng nakabimbin sa Korte? Kailangan pa bang pag-usapan yung mga iba pang mga detalye dyan? Ano po yung limitasyon, attorney?
Usually may courtesy yan. Pagka nasa hukuman na, because that is a co-equal branch, dapat hindi na ginagalaw ng legislature yan. In fact, yung mga parallel investigations, that really violates the person's right to due process. Andun nga, the due process is being administered by the court. Pagdating mo kasi sa Senado o sa Kongreso, meron sila. Meron silang sarili ng ebidensya, may sarili silang rules. So, nagkakaroon ng sabay, and at the same time, yung side ng legislature is covered. Grabe ang publicity, whereas in the courts, you have to ask special permission in order to cover the proceedings at trial. So that's one. Although, remember last year, dun sa Farmally case, si Lincoln Ong dinetain nila. And they were really vicious about it, particularly some of the senators na nagdidiin sila, they would they would require him to answer certain questions. May iba namang mga answers na sinasabi nila, hindi, stricken off the record yan, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin yan. May mga ganon. And so, because they didn't like his answers, dinitain siya. The Supreme Court came back with a ruling na sinabi na just because this is a hearing in aid of legislation, the court usually doesn't want to intervene. But in this case, we have to protect the rights of the individual. Ang sabi nila, ng Korte Suprema, didetain nila si Lincoln Ong without due process. In other words, parang tinopak lang yung isang senador without giving him the opportunity to defend himself or to explain yung sitwasyon niya, didetain siya. Dinetain siya out of galit, out of pique, and because they couldn't get the answers that they wanted to get. So yun yung isa sa mga limitasyon. Of course, ito ay isa rin, these are inquiries in aid of legislation. Pagka naghihiring na kayo doon, na this is a trial, katulad ng ginagawa nila kay Alice Guo, kay Attorney Harry Roque, parang palayo na ng palayo. Nag-iimbestiga sila ng POGO, pero pati yung state of health ng asawa, pati yung income tax returns and so on, which normally would be covered by constitutional processes. Meaning, yung health natin, covered na yung data privacy laws yan. If you have a medical certificate, it's only for the eyes of the person it was intended to, it was made for. Medical information is private. The only exception is the president, that it becomes public interest. So kung private individual ka, tapos kakalkalin mo yung mga sakit niya, hihingi ka ng medical records and so on, bawal po yun. Pangalawa, pati yung mga tinatanong nila, anong inabiso sa kliyente, ano yung sinabi ng kliyente, these violate attorney-client relationships, the attorney-client confidentiality. Ano yan? Exempt sila? O nakita natin, notice of disallowances, bawal yan ilabas. Somehow Congress gets their hands on it and pwede nilang ilabas. They're covered by parliamentary immunity, but still, what does that say to us? Nothing is sacred. Pag nasa kamay ng Senado o ng Kongreso, walang sacred dyan. Sa susunod niyan, siguro magpapaviolate sila ng sanctity of the confessional. Para sa kanila, sila ang batas, sila lang ang masusunod. Kahit sinabi ng batas, hindi yan pwede sa kanila, and they can escape penalties. Now, the Supreme Court, like I said, doesn't normally want to ayaw nila na chine-check nila yung powers of a co-equal branch. Pero in the case of Lincoln Ong, they did. So I think it's a matter of time before somebody can go back to the Supreme Court and say, they are violating confidentiality. They are income tax returns are confidential. O hinihingi din nila yan. They're violating so many things. So ito nga, Attorney Harry is in the Supreme Court with a writ of amparo filed by his daughter. Ito, makakatulong ito para ma-define yung mga karapatan ng mga resource persons / witnesses / ordinary persons na nakakaladkad sa mga hearings na ito. So yun pa, so far nakikita ko, yung limitation, how far can the Congress go in inquiries in aid of legislation? Hindi ba at the very least, there's at least some idea of what legislation there is? Or if they are conducting a oversight function, kaya saan naman lang nadidiscuss yung batas? Ito yung problema. You're investigating POGOs and you've called it illegal, whereas it was the Congress and the Senate that did not pass any law that declared it illegal. O saan ka pa? Talk about irony, talk about hypocrisy, andyan na lahat.
Opo,
So,
Attorney.
if this were a work of fiction, walang maniniwala.
Yung mga ipinupunto ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte doon sa mga pagdinig,
Yes.
pagbusisi, yun ba yung kumbaga tamang pag-iit doon sa karapatan, yung sa paano dapat i-handle yung mga ganyan dyan sa Kongreso?
Isa lang yung naaalala ko, there were 3 points that she made. The main point was, number 1, what they're conducting is an inquiry as to whether or not malfeasance, non-feasance, and misfeasance was committed.
Mhm.
They are not a law enforcement agency, they are not prosecutors, they are not a court of law. Itong mga malfeasance, misfeasance, and non-feasance are offenses prescribed in the revised penal code. So again, the question is, do they have jurisdiction to do this? They're supposed to conduct inquiries in the first place, not investigations. And the inquiry is for the purpose of determining whether these laws still work, if they should be amended, if they should be repealed, or if new laws have to be created. There is no such law being proposed. There's no even pretense that an oversight is being conducted. What law are they looking into in the oversight function? Wala rin. Buti sana kung binanggit nila, well, we're looking into the provisions of the revised penal code. Kung dapat ba i-update natin ito, kasama ba dito kung may notice of disallowance, can we consider this malfeasance? Walang ganon. They don't even pretend anymore. Yun yung sinasabi ko. Here is where hypocrisy lies. They say that it's supposed to be in the public interest. They say this is supposed to be in the interest of transparency, but it's not. They have gone beyond their jurisdiction. This is no longer the area for legislation. This is a witch hunt and a fishing expedition. And we've said this before. We've said it months ago. We've said it a year ago when they started doing this. It's fishing. They're looking for evidence, and then when they find it, a case against you.
Opo.
Bawal din po yan sa batas. It violates due process.
Attorney, meron po bang batas na laban doon sa mga nag-iimbestiga o nag-i-inquire, tapo, 'di ba, in aid of legislation, tapos walang magawang panukalang batas after ng mahabang ginawa nila? Meron po bang batas na mapapanagot sila or napapanahon na? Kasi parang sayang yung pera ng taong bayan sa mga ganito. Yung iba pa nga, grabe na yung kanilang persecution, grabe na yung kanilang pagsalaula doon sa imahe ng tao, tapos kalaunan mapapatunayang hindi pala guilty, pero yung damage napakalaki na. Tapos yung nag-imbestiga parang wala lang.
Totoo yan. Well, especially in the age of internet, di ba these things last forever? Kalkalin nila yung part na yon, and it looks like yun, forever. Hindi mo matakasan o maiwasan yan. Kumbaga napagbayaran mo na, people will still keep reminding you of that. So, wala bang, ang tanong mo is, wala bang remedyo dyan?
Or batas,
Well,
meron ba existing dyan? Wala ba yan sa ethics din nila? Pasok ba yan sa ethics
Meron.
nila?
Okay, for the criminal cases, pwede tayong mag-file. Ang problema nga is the immunity. So this is what parliamentary immunity is about. Doon sa mga sinasabi o ginagawa nila in aid of legislation, yung mga inquiries in aid of legislation, privileged speeches, mga ganyan, and within the confines of Congress or the Senate, then yan, immune sila dyan. Pag lumabas sila, and they say things against you in a press conference, ibang usapan yan. Hindi sila covered ng privilege. Randun lang sila sa loob. So, minimina nila talaga yan. They are milking it for all it's worth na ganon. However, like I said, the Supreme Court has already ruled. First of all, you cannot transgress the rights of the person. So, nagsabi na yung Supreme Court, kailangan pa rin ng due process. Now, kung may mag-file, we can explore the other aspects where hindi na dapat, kumbaga, they cannot violate the dignity or humanity of the person. Yung babalahurain mo sila, there must be limits to this. Like I said, the Supreme Court doesn't really want to reach into the jurisdiction of the Senate or the House and tell them what to do. But if there is damage and it can be proven before the courts, you might be able to convince the court. You might be able to ask the court to protect you from it. Ito nga yung hope na nakikita ko doon sa petition for the issuance of the writ of amparo ni Attorney Harry Roque. Also, hopefully, yung writ of amparo na kayo din nag-file, remember yung doon sa siege, I hope it continues. Hindi yan madismiss because it is capable of repetition yet evading review. I hope that you ask the court for a ruling so that it does not happen again. So yung dito sa kay Attorney Harry, it will protect future resource persons, future witnesses, future people who come to Congress thinking that their expertise is being asked, yung pala babalahurain lang sila sa loob. So there is that. Meron tayong writ of amparo, which is the great writ of protection. So pwedeng hingin yan. The question lang is how the court is going to rule and what lines they're going to draw. So this is going to be interesting. Magiging
Opo.
landmark case yun kay Attorney Harry, I hope.
At saka hindi rin nagiging patas kasi nabanggit niyo mga ma'am, meron silang immunity. Tapos pagpupunahin pa naman sila, ang kanilang panakot naman, cyber libel agad, no? Ilalibel ka kaagad. Pero yung sila ang mag-akusa doon sa kanilang mga resource person o yung mga inimbestigahan nila, okay lang. So talagang hindi pantay ang pagtrato. Buti nga, sabi nga dito ng mga netizen, buti pa raw yung huhulihin ka at babasahan ka ng Miranda rights kasi you have the right to remain silent. Doon, hindi pwedeng hindi ka sumagot. Tapos pag sasagot ka naman, pag hindi nila gusto, contempt ka kaagad.
Tapos, ito pa, even if, for instance, you win an administrative case, hindi pa rin sila matatanggal sa pwesto nila. Kasi ang administrative cases, kailangan dumaan yan sa Committee on Ethics. So sila-sila yung magde-decide. And it hasn't happened not since, kailan ba yung last time na merong natanggal na expel? Si Teves, no? Si Congressman Teves. And nakikita natin, may politika din yun, no? Na your peers will vote against you. It's very rare, and it happened in the case of Congressman Teves. Basta haluan mo ng politika, expect some kind of injustice there. So, meron ganon. Only congressmen will be able to remove a fellow congressman. Only senators can remove a fellow senator from their ranks. Ano pa? Pagka, like in the case of Congresswoman Franz Castro, ito kasi meron pang gap dun sa appreciation ng mga tao and what the law is. So akala ng mga tao, convicted siya by the Regional Trial Court, nakikita nila uma-attend pa sa Congress. So sinasabi nila, bakit ganon? Bakit, why is she allowed to go scot-free? So you have to explain things like bail pending appeal and the fact na hindi pa final yung kanyang conviction. However, if an ordinary person who cannot afford bail pending appeal is convicted by the Regional Trial Court, makukulong ka. Lalong-lalo na pag dininay yung bail mo ng Regional Trial Court or ng Trial Court. So for the people, even if the rule is actually fair, ang iisipin ng mga tao, mayayaman lang ang nakakalusot. Yung mga may power, people like congressmen, hindi yan nakukulong. And especially, may basis na rin kasi if, for instance, ordinary ka na empleyado sa gobyerno, hindi ka elected, hindi ka congressman, makonvict ka ng trial court, pwede ka nang alisin. Ipipresenta yung ebidensya na yon to the to the civil service, and using that same evidence, tanggal ka. So an ordinary government employee doesn't have the same rights as a congressman or a senator. So kumbaga, merong equality sa demokrasya natin with some people more equal than others. Nakikita natin dyan sa mga kongresista. So what is the remedy? Well, yung rule na yan, it has never been abused before to this extent. Nangyayari, syempre nakikita natin yon. Pero ngayon, it's so kumbaga, it's so kapal na, for lack of a better term. Parang masyado ng in your face. So maybe it is time for the courts to step in and tell us where the lines lie. But that will happen under a writ of amparo.